Good morning, Kasturians, and welcome to video 1 of chapter 2 of civics, that is, what is democracy or why democracy. In this chapter, we will see in this chapter we will see the different forms and characteristics as well as the meaning of democracy, and we will also refer to chapter 1 while doing this. So in this video we are going to discuss the meaning of democracy, the broader meaning, also the characteristic feature of democracy. So let us start. So what is democracy or why democracy? When we talk about democracy, in the previous chapter, that is chapter 1, we have seen different forms of government. The chapter starts with an incident of child where the then president Alessandro Salvador Allende, he was dethroned by a military coup. Military coup, that is, you can say, when the military revolts to take over the administration, that is called military coup. And in that, the military, when President Salvador Allende, he was addressing the public from the radio station, the military, it covered the entire presidential building and it bombarded that building, and in which president was killed along with his bodyguards. Now this was the incident, and after the government was put down by military coup, military leader or military General Pinochet, he led the government for next 17 years, and the government, being a military ruler, he started making his own laws, he started using the resources in his own way, and he started suppressing the voices which are raised against his rule. So in a way, the government, the popular government, was put down, and a military coup resulted in the restoration of a dictator type government. Similarly, in Poland also, the Polish United Workers Party was there, and it was a party which was basically communist party. No other political party was allowed to function at that time when this party was working. The members of this party, they led a successful revolution. They went on a strike and they forced the government to step down, and the government agreed to their demands, and a new trade union called Solidarity was formed. So when we see the above two examples, in these two examples we can see at one place, that is in child, the popular elected government, or you can say popular government or the democratic government, was put down by a military coup, and military took over the charge and dictatorship was imposed. Whereas in Poland you can see the dictatorship or the dictator government, it has to put down, and it bowed against the demands of the striking workers, and ultimately a new party, a new trade union was formed that came to be known as Solidarity, and it increased its membership. Within 1 year of formation, the membership rose from 1 to 1 crore. That is, that shows that how much popular this party was, and later on this party became a popular political party as it revealed the corruption done by the then ruling regime. So basically what comes here is one thing that is in common, that is government is there. Whether it is Chile or Poland, government is there, although it is a different case ki the form, the way they were ruling, the government was ruling, or the way the leaders who are operating the government, they ruled, that might be different, but the two, one thing is common, that is the two places, although situated far off from each other, they have one thing in common, that is the government. Now when we talk about government, when we see what happens, government has to come into power. How is it possible? It is possible only when the government gets a support. whether the support of the people who are living in the country or whether the support of a few influential group or group of people who can influence the government. Now the two cases are there, that is the government requires a support, whether it is the support of the common people in large numbers or whether it is the support of a few influential people in, although they are in small numbers. So these two supports, provided the type of support the government is getting, the government forms its policies and frames its decisions, and then the government comes to be known as dictatorship or democratic government. Now what is the meaning of democracy? See, I told, when the government gets support from the common people. Now common people, who are the common people? That is the citizens of that country. If the government gets support of the common people, so how we come to know ki yes, someone is supporting us? When he stands by us, by our side, being impartial, when he plays and he favors the truth. So when the people, they stand by our side, being a political organization, this means that we are having support of those people, right? Now these people, how they can support? They can have the opinion of the people converted towards the party for which they are working, and when it comes to ultimately show the support, we have a process that is called election. So when the elections are held or they are conducted, the people, they go and they cast their vote in favor of the government or in favor of the political group, and this is how we can say yes, the government is going to be formed from popular support. So election, conducting an election and winning the elections or getting the maximum number of votes in those elections is an important criteria for restoring democracy. So for a government to be called as truly democratic, we have one major criteria or one main important criteria, that the government should be an elected one. It should have popular support of the common people, right? So when we try to define democracy, we can define or we can say simply as it is a form of government. As we know, there are other forms of government also, that is oligarchy, monarchy and dictatorship, right? So democracy is a form of government in which the rulers or the administrators, they are elected by the people through common support or popular support by means of general elections. Very first thing, now general elections are there, so every time elections can be held after 6 months, after 1 month, or sometimes if the people say I casted my vote in your favor, now you are not favoring me, so I will not cast my vote in the next elections. So he can demand for elections the next day, na? But it is not sure. The elections are conducted and the result remains effective for the next term of 5 years. Means after completion of the result, after completion of the result and getting it implemented for 5 years, then a fresh or elections are conducted in order to see that whether the people still have faith in the ongoing government or they want to have a change. It depends entirely upon the policies of government. That's why the democracy is always defined as a form of government which is elected by the people, right? By the people. So the government, for getting elected, a procedure or process called elections, it needs to be held, and elections, when they are held, the leaders, they are chosen, that is the party or group who gets maximum number of votes, they elect their leader, and that leader becomes the leader of the government. He runs the government. Then who are the people who can go and elect the representatives or elect their leaders through general election? Anyone, irrespective of their caste, creed, religion, political status, social status, educational status, irrespective of their gender, they can go and cast their votes in favor of their candidate. In this way, when the votes casting is over, the votes are counted and it is seen that in whose favor maximum number of votes have been casted. Then the difference between the maximum and the other remaining contestants is determined, and the person or the leader who gets most of number of votes is declared elected. So this is how elections are conducted, and after the elections are conducted, the leader of the majority party is always invited by the governor or the president to form a government after taking oath in public. So this is all we have for this video. In the next video we will see some more important characteristics of democratic process. Thank you and have a nice day.